And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Play action, now it's Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Throwing is Stafford. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Pass complete there to Nakua. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 9. Now a give up the middle to Williams. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd and 8. Here's Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. This is taken around the 12. A punt of 46, a return of 5. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Daniels. Middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he's got it up to the 28-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll get this complete to Sennett, the tight end. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
On the screen, this is Eckler. Fighting his way through contact. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Robinson up the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Daniels looking to throw. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good, and it's 3-0 Washington. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both of these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Back to throw, Stafford. Got a man open, it's Tyler Higbee. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Stafford now to throw. Short throw, it's Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he's up to the 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
There's 6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Ethan Evans now. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at about the 14. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 23, here's 2nd and a couple. Able to slither by, and he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Open man is Samuel, complete. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Now Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Off the play fake, Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 24-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Stafford. Williams brings it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
Stafford. To the right side, that's Whittington. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
Now a play fake it at Stafford.
Here's back-to-back catches for Davante Adams.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown Rams. Davante Adams from 21 yards away.
And the Rams have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. That time a 6-play drive.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Commanders' offense returning to the field.
They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Daniels. That's out wide here for Robinson.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 17 there. Good for a Commander's first down. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. To the air goes Daniels. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Daniels. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd down and 3. Back to throw. Daniels. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On the give, here's Robinson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Matthew Stafford, the rest of the L.A. offense heading back out there. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They begin the drive with Williams. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
3rd down and 1.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he goes out right around the 39. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Short throw, it's Higbee. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Here's Stafford.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Daniels looking to throw. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will push the lead up to 12-7.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw is Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fielded at the 20. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. The visitors' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Option play. Here's Robinson.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And his pass incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Daniels. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
It was 3rd and long, so he had to figure that the defense would be coming with extra pressure. Found a way to get away. He couldn't see the imaginary yellow line on the field, but he knew exactly where it was and found his way there for a first down.
Now Daniels. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll motion McLaurin left. They'll run with Robinson. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Brian Robinson. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Stafford.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Play action. Stafford under pressure, and they got to him again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
Hand off now to Robinson.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I loved one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down and a yard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on third down. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He's going to find Atwell open downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Stafford. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the draw, here's Williams. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. And his kick is indeed good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. To throw is Daniels. It's complete to Brown, right side. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Play action, now it's Daniels. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the right side and complete to Atwell. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4. In motion goes the tight end. Stafford. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Stafford now to throw. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw, Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now we got a player in some discomfort after that last play, and not the guy you want to see. That's quarterback Matthew Stafford. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Washington ready to try again on offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
2nd and a couple. Here's Daniels. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Robinson will try to pick it up, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To the air goes Daniels. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6 now. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 64 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Bennett. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, L.A. Kyron Williams, 69 yards. And the Rams are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
We all knew the situation. We're in the 4th quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? Well, we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
Now for the point after. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Well, now how about this return? And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Got a man. It's Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Off the play fake, Daniels. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Throwing now is Daniels. Steps away to his left. The 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted.
And the Rams are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Off play action. Here's Bennett. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
They'll come up now. 2nd and 9. Robinson with another carry.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A big play looming on 3rd down.
Back to throw.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
He's back to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts
as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here now, 3rd down.
Now it's McNichols. Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So now Stafford and the Rams down by 2. A little under 30 seconds remaining. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on 1st down. Now Bennett.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Bennett.
And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
He'll look to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. They'll go for it. Here's Bennett.
And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And Washington is going to win the football game. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and it certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.